What is up, everybody? Welcome to my first ever episode of my podcast. It's your hype girl. I'm your hype girl, Audrey. This podcast is something that I have been wanting to do now for like over 2 years. It's gone through so many different transitions, like happy, healthy humans to Tuttle Talk to so many different things that I've been trying to brainstorm. And it's here. It's going to be your hype girl. And I'm so excited to start this journey with you. I'm so excited to start this journey with myself. I'm just really excited. So I wanted to create this podcast to provide a positive platform where listeners can feel encouraged. Just a little bit about me. I feel like through all of my relationships in like life, I've always been kind of the hype girl. I find so much joy and so much excitement in encouraging others. And that's just something I'm insanely passionate about. I played college volleyball, and I feel like the main role I had on the team was to hype my teammates up, right? And that's just, as I go through life, that is something that just pushes me. I want every single interaction I have with someone to make their day better, right? So I want to put a smile on someone's face. I want to make them just feel happy and feel like they can go the rest of their day with excitement and with joy because of our interaction. So my goal with this podcast is I want, same thing as all my interactions, I want every listener to feel better, more refreshed, more motivated, and happier after listening to the episode than when it began. So I'm your encourager. I am your hype girl. Let's do this thing. I'm so excited. This podcast is going to be for someone who loves the journey of self-growth. That's something that I'm insanely passionate about, is just waking up every single day and just trying to be 1% better in some area in life, right? Whether that is your health, whether that is just your mindset overall, whether that is how you treat yourself, how you treat others. I think that's so important. Or, if you're not insanely dedicated to just, your self-growth, then that's okay, right? If you're just looking for a small little pick-me-up during the day, just something to smile for and something to smile at, this is your home. Welcome home. Welcome to your podcast. I'm your hype girl, Audrey Tuttle. Let's get this thing started. I'm so excited. So this first episode is going to be titled, Change Your Mind, Change Your Life. This is a saying that is very strong in my family. It's something that my mom says a lot. Change your mind, change your life. So basically, your mind is so powerful, and only you have the power to control it, right? And I think that like simple shifts in your mind can absolutely change your perspective and your experience in the world. I feel like so many times it's easy to be negative. And this is for me too. I think that I am someone who comes across as extremely positive and just really happy all the time. And, that's just, I have a smile on my face. I speak with an upbeat tone. That means, I'm happy, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean that I am positive all the time. Just like all normal people, your brain has a tendency to turn, in a negative shift and just think negatively. So that's what this podcast is going to be about, is just those simple shifts that you can have within your inner dialogue to experience life in just a better way and to feel good about you going through the day and you taking on challenges and everything, right? So I'm going to talk about that and, how situations can be difficult and hard, but how our inner dialogue will help with that. But then also about self-talk too. I feel like so many times it's easy for us to talk negatively about ourselves, right? But self-talk is something that's so important for you, for your confidence, how you are perceived by yourself and how you're perceived by others. And that's something that I want to talk to you about too and encourage you to be better in. Let's talk about shifting the status quo, right? So my New Year's resolution, like I said, I love self-growth. I think that is just something that's so exciting that we have the opportunity to grow ourselves and to be a better person each day, right? Just through tiny little habits. It's been about a month or so since New Year's, and My New Year's resolution was to continuously get a new self-help book. The first one I started on is called Ikigai. It's wonderful. It's about living a long life. It looks into the, areas in the world where people live to be over 100. There's so many great things that I got out of that book, and that was really exciting to read. I'll probably cover that more throughout different episodes and stuff. But the one I'm reading right now, it's called Win Your Inner Battles. Here it is right here. It's called Win Your Inner Battles by Darius Farrow. And I'm going to be honest, I'm only a few chapters in, but this is something that really inspired this episode as well. And I feel like sometimes your biggest enemy can be your brain. And if it's taking that negative path, if it's taking, overload on fear and everything along those lines, then it's, you're going to get in your way. You're going to get in your way of accomplishing who you want to be, the goals you want to have, and everything along the way, right? Something that I found really interesting in this book, and again, I'm only a few chapters in, so I'm excited to explore more of it. But one of the quotes in this book says this: research shows that 65% of our thoughts are negative, and staying positive in today's world is almost a full-time job. Think about that. 65% of our thoughts that flow through our brain are negative. And sometimes, you can have your subconscious, you can have your direct thoughts that you think right away. But most of those that are being filtered through our brain is negative. And that's so sad, honestly. That's like, why is it? Why is it negative? Why is it easy to just sit in negativity? Why is it easy to complain? Why? And I think that's because, honestly, life is hard. Life is hard. It is challenging. You are going to go through so many different obstacles in just a single day, right? No day. I've never experienced a perfect day. I've never experienced a day where I don't spill something on my shirt before a job interview. I don't, just like little things throughout the day, and they add up and they add up and they add up. But life is hard. We are thrown curveballs and different obstacles. But we can't control what life throws at us, but we can control how we react to it. And that starts with our mindset. That starts with what we are feeding our brains. Let's feed it with positivity. Let's change it. Let's change that 65% of negativity in your brain to 45, to 35. Let's lower it. Let me start off by saying this, though. I think it is totally human of you to go through hard things in life and to complain, right? That is absolutely human of you. And that's just human emotions. But yeah, life is hard. Just a side note here that I love to think to myself, and I bet you've never heard this before in your life, but isn't it kind of beautiful how challenging life is? Isn't that beautiful? If life were perfect, I think it would be so boring. Life being perfect would be boring. You would go through life with no challenges, no areas where you can improve yourself, no ways of doing that, right? So I think life would be so boring if you didn't have to honestly struggle. Like, that's just life. That's what you're doing. That's what you're here for. You're here to struggle. You're here to persevere through your struggles, and you're here to come out on top and to come out as a better person. That's just kind of a side note. That's what I like to think to myself when I'm going through something that's really hard. I kind of think to myself, just, isn't that beautiful that I get to live life? I get to breathe air into my lungs every day. I get to wake up. I get to take on the challenges that life throws my way. That is so beautiful. We get to live, and it's amazing, right? My family has kind of been going through something that's been difficult the past few months. We have lost quite a few loved ones in my family, and that's been hard. And I don't know if anyone listening has lost any loved ones in their life, but it's traumatic. It's heartbreaking. Just a few months ago, I lost my grandma. And then literally like 3 weeks after that, my 2 childhood dogs passed away. And then about 2 months after that, we lost our uncle. And I feel like it's just been back to back to back. And honestly, I feel like my family just like can't take a break. And it's so frustrating and sad to see my current loved ones, you know, having to go through those losses, and then myself having to go through those losses. And like I said, it is 100% human to cry about it, to be mad about it, to be frustrated that this is happening to me and to my loved ones, right? That is 100% human. And I think it's healthy. Let's talk about a good cry. I love a good cry. That is how you get your emotions out. That is how you cope. That is how you feel. And it is healthy to have a good cry. Who are my good criers in here? I love a good cry. But you can't sit in it. You can't sit in it for weeks on end and gloom and feel down and get into that depressive state. You can't sit in it. But then what are your options? What can you do to not sit in it? Because obviously, you know, it's been 2 months or so now since my uncle passed away, a few months since my grandma, and I'm still sad. I still have moments throughout the day where I think of them or want to call them or want to text them, and I'm still sad. So how do I turn my perspective, turn my brain into something that makes it a kind of not joyful, but just where I can suffer less in this experience? And I think that's just saying, and again, I don't know if anybody's had a loved one who has passed away, but I have transitioned my brain into saying, man, how lucky am I to have loved someone so much that I miss them so much? How lucky am I to have created these memories with them and to have loved them and to have had these wonderful conversations with them? And it hurts like hell that they're gone. Like, that hurts. But man, am I lucky. I got to live pretty much all my life up until this point with them. And yeah, I miss them and I'm going to miss them. But I have those memories for the rest of my life. I have that love in my heart for the rest of my life, right? And if someone, like, I'm very strong in my faith, so like they're living the rest of their lives, you know, just not on earth. But how lucky am I and my family that we are so close and love each other so much that I miss them. And I think that just switching your mindset to feeling grateful, to feeling lucky, to seeing things as an opportunity instead of a challenge, right? Let's change our I have tos to our I get tos. We got to check ourselves sometimes with our negativity. If we wake up in the morning, oh, I have to go to work. Oh man, I have to study for my final. Or, all my former student athletes or current student athletes out there, y'all hear me? Oh my gosh, I have to get up and go to this workout. Poor me, this sucks. I don't like this. Bleh, right? What if we change that to, I get to go to work today. I get to go up, I get to wake up, I get to go make some money. And guess what? I can go make some money and I can go spend that on myself. I can go on a trip. I can, afford my rent. But I get to do that. I have the freedom to do that. I have the opportunity to do that. I don't have anything setting me back right now to where I am able to go to work. There are so many people in even this country or in the world who would love to have the opportunity to have a job like you have, right? So let's take that and let's run with it. Let's feel grateful for that. Let's be excited to go to work, right? I have to study for this final. Oh my gosh, I hate taking tests. This sucks. No, I get to study for this final. And that might sound crazy because trust me, I know that test taking is not fun. And I know that being in pressure situations is hard and it's not great. It's not a good time. But man, I get to get this education. I have the opportunity to get this education, and I have the opportunity to go far in my career and to do really great things because of this education. I have to go work out. Oh, I have to go work out as a student athlete. Girl, or boy, but girl, you have worked your entire life to be a student athlete. You have grinded so hard to get there. And so many people want to be you and want to be in that position and want to get up at 5 a.m. and go do weights, want to get up. And for me, I played volleyball, want to go up and be on the court for 3 hours, right? So we just have to change our perspective from I have to's to hell yeah, I get to. Let's go do this thing. I am pumped, right? It's just those little shifts, I think, that are going to change your entire world and change your entire perspective and just help you get through each day in a better way. And it just starts with small things. It starts with just you catching yourself and saying, you know what? I shouldn't say I have to. I should say I get to. And I should be grateful. I should look at this as an opportunity. Not only that, but if you're not happy with what you're doing in your job, if you're not happy where you are, you have pretty much 3 different options here. You can change it. You can go in. If you don't like a coworker at work, you can go in, chat with them, sit down, talk with them, talk about why you don't, get along. So you can change it. You can leave it. You can be like, you know what? I'm not feeling this job anymore. You know what? I'm done. And that's okay. Or you can stay in the same situation and stop complaining about it, right? You can go into work and be like, I'm grateful to be here. I don't really get along with this coworker, but you know what? I'm not going to let their energy consume me, right? I have power over the situation. I have control over the situation. I'm not going to let that happen. To be honest, that's not going to happen. So let's change those I have to's to I get to's. Let's change those challenges into opportunity. And let's change that 65%. Let's go down a little bit. Let's go to 60. Let's go to 55. Let's go to 45. Let's do the damn thing. Let's do it. Okay, so now I kind of want to talk about positive self-talk. I am here to encourage you. I am here to love you. I am here to pump you up. Let's go crush the day. Sisters and brothers, you have to encourage yourself. You have to get yourself up and say, let's crush the day, right? I hope this podcast does that for you. I hope that you are listening and you feel so excited because of the message I'm giving and yes, let's do this. But guys, y'all gotta help yourselves. Y'all gotta help yourselves. This sounds kind of silly, but have you heard of a power pose? So power poses are something that are supposed to fill you with confidence, right? Sometimes, actually a lot of the times, I used to do this before volleyball games. I used to do this before giving huge presentations in college. I would get up, put my, spread my feet apart, stand up really straight and tall, put my hands on my hips, shoulders high, mighty, chin up. I would look in the mirror and I'd be like, Audrey Tuttle, you're a badass. You're beautiful. You're intelligent. You've got this, right? And you're filling your inner dialogue with things that make you feel confident. Don't, slouch your shoulders, look into a mirror and just pick yourself apart. Oh, I'm ugly. Oh man, I have all these pimples. Oh, I think every single person on this planet is beautiful. I think every person has their level, high level of intelligence. I think that every single person has something so unique. And so let's focus on making yourself feel good. Let's feel good about ourselves. Just like you feed your body healthy foods to live a good lifestyle, you need to feed your mind with healthy thoughts. You need to feed your mind with healthy thoughts to live a positive and happy life. That is so important. Your body and your mind, they work together to create this life for you. So why not feed it both with really healthy stuff? Let's start small here. Let's notice the small little negative things, that's happening in our mind. And let's just slightly shift it. Just catch yourself. Just, hey, Audrey, you know what? That was negative. I didn't need to say that. That was negative. And let's catch ourselves. Just like everything in life, a positive mindset is something that you have to grow and something that you have to practice. You're not just going to wake up one morning and be like, oh, I don't live in the 65% anymore. My thoughts are 20% now. My negative thoughts are 20%. Yay me, right? That's not how that works. You just got to wake up and change it every single day. This is something that I'm trying to work on too. Like I said, it's human. We are growing. We sometimes find ourselves complaining and life's hard, but we're human and we have the opportunity to change our mindset, and that is beautiful. I want to start with challenges for you. One is catching that and shifting your mindset, right? Another thing that I did this week, it was so much fun, but I challenge you this week to do something really nice for a stranger, okay? So a few days ago, I was kind of feeling down. Again, I didn't want to go to work. I didn't, just kind of feeling down. And I was like, you know what? Some of the best medicine for that is just to be kind to others. And I went into my local store. For those of you who live in the South, H-E-B, whoop, whoop, love, no store does more than my H-E-B. I went into H-E-B and I just bought a bouquet. It wasn't even that expensive. It was like $10. But I bought a bouquet of sunflowers, and sunflowers are my favorite flowers in the entire world. They're just so happy and yellow, and I love them. But I bought sunflowers, and I was walking out of the store, and the very first girl I saw, I was like, here you go. I just felt like giving sunflowers to a stranger. And I just said, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead of you. And I just walked away. And she looked really excited. In my head, I'm thinking like, oh, she went home thinking about that interaction and was so happy and put the sunflowers in a vase and got to see those every single day and think about that kindness. And maybe that inspired her to go be kind and go do something nice, right? So I challenge you this week to do something nice. Buy a stranger coffee. Go get a thing of sunflowers for someone else. Go, write something on a note paper and just that says like, have a great week, thinking about you, and like slide in someone's backpack. I don't know. That might be a little creepy. I don't know. Don't do anything creepy. Don't do anything like sus or anything, but go do something nice. If we are spreading kindness to each other, I think that is wonderful. Not only that, but back to the whole mindset thing that generates and helps create a positive mindset. So go do that. Go do that for yourself. Go do that for someone else. It is fantastic. Love it, love it, love it. This has been the end of the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much. This was so much fun for me to do, and I'm looking forward to creating more episodes in the future. If you liked it, hop on here. Let's this is a journey that we're going to go on together, right? And let's just listen to me, y'all. I want to be your hype girl. I am here to hype you up. I'm here to encourage you. I want you to live the absolute best lives that you can. And I am here for you. Yes. So guys, go do things throughout this week that make your soul happy and make you want to just sing. Go in your living room, turn up music and dance. Go, if you see sprinklers, go run in the sprinklers. Go outside and dance in the rain. Just do things that your soul loves and that brings you so much joy. We only have one life on this earth. Let's make it the best life possible. I hope y'all have a wonderful week. I love y'all so much. Thank you for listening and tune in soon. Okay, bye y'all. All right, my hype fam, if this episode is something that you enjoyed, feel free to download this episode. Leave a review. Follow on Instagram and TikTok at Your Hype Girl Pod. And follow along. Every single Tuesday, we're going to be releasing new episodes, and I can't wait to see you here next Tuesday. Y'all have a beautiful rest of your week. Thank you for listening, and love y'all so much. Bye-bye.